Midnight Club Los Angeles, Rockstar San Diego's final racing game, released all the way back in 2008 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. To this day is one of the best and most fleshed out racing games that I have ever played. If Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption are Rockstar's number 1 and 2, then Midnight Club is arguably their number 3 franchise. So, let's take a look back at the final Midnight Club. By the dawn of the new generation of consoles, Rockstar Games had just debuted their brand new Rage engine, short for Rockstar Advanced Game Engine. This was brought about due to Electronic Arts buying out the Renderware engine. Renderware was created by Criterion Software and was used over 100 games in the PS2 era, some of the most notable games being the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise and most of the early GTA games. Now, in 2004, EA bought Criterion, and with it became ownership of the Renderware software. Now, this caused a major problem because with EA owning it, they could pick and choose who to let use the engine, and there was no way that EA was about to let Rockstar Games, the makers of the rival to their Need for Speed franchise, use this engine. So Rockstar decided they were going to create their own, and the first games used with this brand new engine were a table tennis game of all things, Agent, which was a cancelled shooter game and sadly never released, and the big Grand Theft Auto 4. With this new engine, Rockstar wanted to have a big focus on the city of their new Midnight Club. The location chosen was Los Angeles, making it the second time it appeared in the franchise. Rockstar San Diego producer Jay Panic stated, "The development team chose Los Angeles as the location of the game due to the city's strong ties with the street racing culture. The team would also license several real-life locations in Los Angeles to make the city feel more authentic." And this is true, as driving through the game's version of LA, you can see iconic landmarks such as the Hollywood sign, Carney's, and more. Rockstar were determined to make the most realistic depiction of Los Angeles seen in any video game, albeit a bit condensed so it works for the racing. I can't speak to its accuracy because I've never left the East Coast, but I've spoken to people I know from California, and it's pretty accurate, honestly. In previous games like Midnight Club 3 that had 3 cities and 4 if you get the remix, but LA shown in Midnight Club LA is bigger than all 3 cities combined. Los Angeles had such an impact on the game studio that they decided to just name the entire game after it rather than just Midnight Club 4. The first trailer for Midnight Club LA was shown in 2007 with a playable version at that year's game convention. Grand Theft Auto has a great video investigating some of the early stuff shown in this clear beta version if you're interested in checking that out. Rockstar once again worked with Dub Magazine to get car licenses such as Buick, Ford, Pontiac, and more, with a single vehicle having over 100,000 polygons. The cars are more detailed than ever, even have their own individual interior view, with every car featuring accurate interiors from gauges to seats. Now, according to the game files, there's some cut police dialogue with a lot of cars that were cut from the game. Vehicles like certain Honda and Acura vehicles, a Ford F-150, a non-specific chopper, a drivable Cadillac Escalade, which that hurts the most, a Ferrari, and even a Porsche. One car that was cut super late in development was the Nissan GTR R35. It can be brought back into the game and is fully customizable. I don't know if this was a licensing issue or they just didn't want to have 2 GTRs in the same game, but I guess we'll never know. But after a lot of delays and an insane amount of hype, Midnight Club Los Angeles was released in October of 2008 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Running straight back to the dealership. Me, I'm in my spaceship. That's right, I work for NASA. This FNH is not a fraud. Call that my bodyguard. Call that the bodyguard. Yeah, that's my bodyguard. Wear a lot of jewelry. Young
For the first and only time, Midnight Club features a dedicated protagonist, but just like Grand Theft Auto 3, they never reveal his name, although sometimes he is called Marcus or Matthew in the PSP version, even though that is just a reference to his voice actor Matthew Metzger. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to call him Matthew instead of just calling him Player or Marcus. Matthew is a street racer from an unnamed state in the East Coast, and he is told by his friend Tony that the racing scene in LA is worth checking out. Getting into town, he meets Book and his 2 friends Nikolai and Trevor.
Nice car.
Thank you. What, so you Book?
So they say.
What?
Man, don't tell everyone.
Trust me, man, I won't.
Man, you're funny. You're like Tony. You one of them funny East Coast guys, huh? You here to do stand-up?
No, are you?
Book doesn't need a stage. People laugh at him just walking down the street.
Whatever you say, Nikolai. Your girlfriend found me funny.
She did.
Ooh.
She was confused, wondering why you dressed like you're playing golf.
Cole! Yeah, shut up, y'all. Anyway, what you here for?
Race some cars, man.
What you mean, race some slow cars? There's a lot of kids hanging around down on the strip, right between Rodeo and Fairfax. Go race them. Then we'll
The
talk.
game immediately drops you in a race, and after winning a couple, Book hooks you up with Carol, the owner of various garages along Los Angeles. He can hook the player up with new rides, parts, or just even special abilities. Book or Carol will inform you of your new events and races through your awesome 2008 T-Mobile sidekick. Some of the other supporting casts you will come across along your time in LA are Annie, Lester, Jen, Andrew, and Hugo. All of these characters will call or interact with the player at some point during the game. Annie will on occasion call you to race whenever she gets a new ride. Lester, you only really race once for his pink slips. Ah, what are pink slips, you ask? Well, let me explain. In various parts of the story, someone will call you about pink slip races, appearing for the first time since the original Midnight Club. Only difference being, Midnight Club 1 didn't take your car. In LA, it works as intended. If you lose, quit, or even turn off your console, you still lose your car. Now, luckily you can win your car back, it's not like it's lost forever, so that's good. Back to the characters, we have Jen and Andrew. Book informs you of a guy named Andrew racing downtown for pink slips, and you race his buddy Jen for his 350Z, and this is honestly one of the hardest races in the entire game. Is what I would say if Jen's car didn't stall on him, give us a free win and a free car. Andrew will then challenge you to race him 2 times in a car, and after beating him a second time, he flips out and kicks his RX-7.
Hey, relax, man.
Winning or losing doesn't matter in a piece of junk like this. Anyone can drive one.
Yeah, whatever you say.
For real. You think you're something special because you can press down a pedal? You think you're hard and fearless? Get on a bike, buddy. On a bike.
Okay.
Go get some practice and meet me in the hills. Then we'll see how tough you really are, buddy.
You defeat Andrew 2 more times on a bike, and that concludes his arc. Hugo is another racer Book connects you with. He comes off as cold and serious, but is actually just desperate to beat the player.
Me driving my sister's car. That thing was messed up.
Yeah, something was messed up.
I got a Golf 32 now, I see.
Oh, really?
And he doesn't do much besides give the player 20 grand. Near the end of the game, Book will give you a call to race against Andrew and Jen. The race is fairly easy by this point because you have Class A vehicles unlocked. But afterwards, the cops swarm everybody and Book calls for help.
Look! 5-0's all over us, man! Get out of here! Hey, you gotta help me out, man! I'm in some serious heat here!
Are you crazy? You're all over me too, man. What do you want me to do?
Have you forgotten what I've done for you? You'll be nothing without me! You owe me, man!
Look, I love to talk, but I gotta shake these fools! You're supposed to be the hotshot driver. Deal with it yourself.
I'm telling you, if you don't help me out now, it's over! We done! I'm cutting you off!
You're out of your mind, Book.
After this, Book is thrown in jail for street racing and cuts off all contact with Matthew, until Carol calls letting you know that Book has been running his mouth.
For women. You know me, boy, I'm relentless. Hey, let me call you right back. There he is. Judas, the ex-apostle. Looks like you picked the wrong team, man.
And what you talking about?
I won. Again, player.
Good for you.
See, you don't get it. We could have been friends.
You see, I don't think I'm rich or superficial enough to be one of your crew. And I haven't had any cosmetic work done, so.
Well, you need it, fool.
Okay, tough guy. Not quite sure why winning's made you so angry.
I don't know why losing made you into a punk.
Listen, man, anytime you want to go, I'm ready.
Ready is one thing you ain't. Until you beat Tommy, Leon, and Letitia, just get out my face. You cramping my style.
Your personality is cramping your style, dude.
Player hater.
After defeating the 3 champions, you race Book in one final race for all the marbles, and winning this makes Matthew the LA City champ. Carol calls the player with one final offer. For $1 million, Matthew becomes half owner of the garage and gets any car or visual upgrade for completely free.
Sitting here, luxuriating in all my money.
Yeah. Speaking of money, you still serious about your shop?
Absolutely. just had it valued. Business is worth $2 million.
So 1 million buys me a 50% share, right?
And all your work for free. You get to show off, pretend to work for a living rather than gamble your whole life away.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Welcome aboard!
Now, you can still race, but making this transaction pretty much ends the game's main story. For Midnight Club's first time ever having any narrative elements, I think that it was really done well. There's not that many cutscenes in the game, with only them being about 15 minutes in total. Considering it takes about 51 hours to 100% the game, this is a pretty short number. Even just a basic completion of the story is just still around 22 hours, so this is a game that, unless you're speedrunning, won't be completed in one whole sitting. In the world of MCLA, certain racers will trash talk or exchange dialogue with the player, and it feels like you're actually a part of LA's racing community. ROCKSTAR did a really good job with LA in this game. It feels like you're in a real city that's and not just some basic video game city. Like, yeah, Atlanta in Midnight Club 3 is great, but it doesn't feel like an authentic Atlanta.
Midnight Madness, Midnight Madness, Midnight Madness, Midnight Madness, Midnight Madness, Midnight Madness.
With Rockstar's new engine, Midnight Club Los Angeles doesn't feel or look anything like the previous titles, with the cars feeling more weighty and somewhat realistic. It isn't as arcade as 3, but isn't as terrible as GTA 4's driving. Customization gets a very big overhaul in this game, with the cars being more detailed than ever. Midnight Club LA's customization is still impressive as always, with body upgrades, wide bodies, rims, and even for the first time, interior customization. From steering wheels, gauges, and seats can all be customized and their colors changed. The biggest overhaul made is the vinyl editor. Rather than just select preset decals like Midnight Club 3, LA gives you full control of how the car looks. For me, this is one of the best parts of the entire game, as I've always somewhat enjoyed making cars in video games. I'm not the greatest of all time with it, but people have made full-on replicas of the Need for Speed Most Wanted cars and Fast and Furious vehicles. It's actually pretty insane how talented people can get with this. Combined with the new details with the cars, we also have convertibles, and yes, you can do the manual drop top by the click of a button. Once again, the special abilities from Midnight Club 3 return. Zone, Aggro, and Roar all return from 3, but here they have actually introduced a brand new ability to Midnight Club Los Angeles, the EMP. Now, EMP briefly disables the other racer's car, which can give you a short lead or advantage in a race. It's useful, but I think that Zone and Roar are still the better abilities in my opinion. Now, Midnight Club 3 actually locked abilities behind the car class, so like Zone only went to bikes and tuners, while Roar was restricted to muscle cars only. But here in LA, it's actually a free game, so a bike can have aggro, really. Now, the various races that you partake in Midnight Club Los Angeles are relatively the same from 3 with some new tweaks added in. Now, there's your normal race events. These are your typical sprint or circuit races. We have what's brand new to the game, the red light races. This is where you start a race at the red light and are instructed to get to a destination without any checkpoints. Now, these are they effectively replace the unordered races, which thank God, because I cannot stand unordered races. They still exist in this game, but they're nowhere in the career mode. Tournaments are brought back, with each district having 3 tournaments, and there's even some dub sponsor tournaments where you can win some dubbed vehicles, which is really cool. Now, you have the series races. These are just win X amount of races in a series. Now, for one reason or another, I can't figure out, whenever you get a new car type unlocked, it's always 6. Why does it always gotta be 6? It's everywhere look, it's the mark of the beast. I pray that this isn't another Mario 3 situation, because if it is, we're gonna have a problem. Payback missions are where you just ram your car into other vehicles for money. This comes about with Carol calling the player, telling him that clients have ripped him off, and this is his way of revenge. Wager races are where you win X amount of money off certain car hangouts around Los Angeles, with some of them coming up to 30 grand. Now, some of these missions do get repetitive, sadly. The number of times that I got asked to win 3 wagers during my playthrough started to become very annoying, to the point where I started skipping those missions. But the variety of event types is very good, so I cannot complain too much.
Cali. I'm moving down the freeway, stepping on the gas, switching my gear, trying not to crash. The bright city lights got me moving so fast, 120 on the dash, chasing that cash. You can say I'm speeding, tearing up the ceiling, flying by the cops like I ain't even seen them. Driving through LA, right through downtown, flying through traffic. I gotta slow down, I gotta take it easy, but I don't know how. 22-inch rims sitting low to the ground. I dip they straight, check my location. I'm getting road rage, I ain't got no patience. I'm running red lights, talking on the phone, riding shotgun with glasses for long. West Coast on, my static on the beat. Midnight Club, I'm a savage on the street.
A few months after Midnight Club Los Angeles' release, in March of 2009, Midnight Club will get its own DLC expansion, something that at the time was a more recent concept in gaming, with the two Grand Theft Auto 4 expansions coming out the year before. Now, after an accidental Xbox Marketplace leak, the South Central DLC will release for Midnight Club Los Angeles. South Central adds an entire expansion to the map of LA, adding landmarks such as the Crenshaw Mall and LA Memorial Coliseum. There's also a brand new car type that is added with the Lowriders, with such cars that are integral to the South Central community with like the Rivera, Malibu, and iconic 64 Impala. There's also some new tuners like the 2009 Mitsubishi Spider and the Evo 10, and we also get the return of SUVs. Now, it's just two Range Rovers, which I wish we could have got to use Escalades, but Range Rovers are cool too. South Central has its own story, I guess you can call it, attached to it, where you simply just defeat racers, win tournaments, and win some nice rides. It's not like its own cinematic story like the main game, it's just a new map, areas, and races. It's honestly a well-done expansion. I wish I could talk a lot more about the online, but I no longer have Xbox Live Gold, and there's no way I can show it off without having to get footage off YouTube, sadly. But only the Xbox version, to my knowledge, is still fully playable, and it appears to be very active, which is cool to see. A little over a year after the original game's release, ROCKSTAR released the Complete Edition that has all the DLC pre-installed on disc, making the original version somewhat obsolete. This is the version that I played to record, as it's actually backwards compatible on modern Xbox consoles, which is really good to see. Midnight Club Los Angeles got decent to favorable review scores and sold well over 7 million copies. Now, it has been speculated what was the lost Midnight Club 5. It's long been speculated that it was either going to take place in London or Las Vegas, but we never got another Midnight Club game, sadly. And with the moneymaker that is Grand Theft Auto 5, why would ROCKSTAR need to make one? But imagine if we got some more city-themed sequels, like Midnight Club New York, Midnight Club Miami, Midnight Club New Orleans. Hell, give me Midnight Club Jersey Shore.
Are you delusional?
Are you delusional?
But we aren't done, because there's one more version of this game that I'd like to talk about. Midnight Club LA Remix will release the day after the console version for the PSP. This port has no business being as good as it is. Now, the LA featured in the remix is a ported version of Midnight Club 2's LA, because if they tried to put the console version in, your PSP would blow up in your hand. But they do have some of the new landmarks added, like Carney's and etc. There's no South Central, sadly, but I can live with that. There's no cutscenes. The interior view for the cars have been cut because, again, the PSP would explode if it had to render all the interiors. But it's basically the console version with Midnight Club 3's physics, just lacking its obscene difficulty, which is good. Now, this version specifically has something special to it. It has a Tokyo career. Now, I've already beaten it, and I can say it's good. Even ignoring the story, just the fact that Tokyo was finally on a handheld console and after being locked behind the remix for years, pretty good. I'd say this is one of the best PSP ports of any console game in my opinion. Next up there is the Def Jam port. Good friend of mine, Mike Masters, says that this PSP port has some black magic voodoo going on and has no business being as good as it is. Overall, I recommend the PSP port of both 3 and LA, but do be warned, however, Midnight Club 3 on the PSP has some horrible load times. The Audi R8 and TIS modular rims were attainable from 2008 to 2014. By completing various social club challenges, you will unlock the car and rims, but they are no longer obtainable by legitimate means. The only way to use the car is to mod the game or get a save file online for an emulator. Midnight Club Los Angeles is one of my favorite games of all time and my favorite racing game ever made. I think I'm one of the few people who actually thinks that this game is better than 3. Now, I haven't played 1 or 2 yet, and from what I've heard, 2 is hard as hell, and 3 is genuinely one of the hardest games I've ever played, so hearing that 2 is harder is not very welcoming. Compared to even the more recent Need for Speed title Unbound, I still think LA holds up and is even better. Now, to be completely fair, I don't really like Unbound. It's not a bad game, just not for me. But Need for Speed 2015, now that's where that's at for me. But regardless of what franchise you like more, what you personally look for in a game, my point is, LA has lasted the test of time and I think still holds up incredibly well. It's a shame that this great franchise has laid dormant since 2009, and hopes of a sequel are pretty much dead in the water. But I hope watching this video made you guys relive some memories and maybe even had you go back to play it. If it did, let me know. Thank you for watching, and if you're new here, check out my other reviews. Maybe I've looked at a game you liked before.